If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
We are less than a week away from elections in Alabama on March 3rd, the Republican primary, and joining us this morning is Phillip Morris, candidate for Revenue Commission District 5. Phillip, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Good to have you with us this morning. And Phillip's been everywhere. I mean, if you've been out at all or reading at all, you've seen Phillip Morris, the candidate. Who is Phillip Morris, a person?
Well, I'm a small businessman here in town. Our family business been 34 years. I took over Morris Custom Marble and Granite about 12 years ago. My wife, Robin, runs it with me. I've got a son, Justin, and a daughter, Jasmine. I've got a granddaughter, Emma, and I got a grandson, Case. And I'm a lifelong resident of Sylacauga. That's Phillip Morris.
Yeah.
And all the other things that I've done other than just own business.
You've been a part of the Republican Party for a while now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Talk about your involvement there, and then we'll get to the voting coming up on Tuesday.
Oh, my involvement, I'm vice chair of the Republican Party, Talladega County Republican Party, and there's only one, and it covers the whole county. I'm also an executive member for the state party, Alabama State Party. Been in that capacity, I guess, 2 years, vice chair.
Why run for this position?
Well, Jimmy, I've been in public service 20-something years now. I was city councilman in my 30s. You remember that? I was a little bit.
That was in the young days, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. But in serving in that capacity as a city councilman here, I served as liaison to the Planning and Zoning Commission. I served with the Industrial Board. I served with the Sylacauga Utilities Board. I was also a heavy member in the Animal Rescue Foundation as a board member, and then later as the liaison from the city as a representative to that organization. Pretty instrumental with some good other council members, built a new dog shelter here, an animal shelter. We didn't have anything of that magnitude, so we was instrumental in getting it done, and served on several nonprofits. Music Fest Incorporated, the Arts Council. Probably going to leave somebody out. Probably several more. So with that being said, I've learned to work with nonprofits. I understand their needs. I understand what it takes to do the things you want to do for the people of Sylacauga and the surrounding area. Most groups, it's a struggle all the time, especially, well, I'm not going to call any names, because most of them have their, and I understand how to work with them. I know what it takes to help them get what they need to do to move on. As far as the governmental experience, also I'm a Housing Authority Board member now and a 911 Board member. And I'm the chairman of the Planning and Zoning now. So I wear a lot of hats, and through the years, I've worked from federal to state, local government. Been involved in a lot of aspects of all of it. So, and I guess I'm a servant of the people. I mean, that sums it up. Everybody's not born to do that. Everybody's not born to be a politician, if that's what you want to call me. I'm not a politician, but I guess that's what they call us when you run for office, especially if you win. But I guess it's in my blood. I like serving the people. I've never served in a capacity that I needed a pat on the back or a picture in the newspaper. It's about serving the people, and that's what it's always been about.
This position, with the election coming up next Tuesday, 3 candidates in for District 5.
On the Republican ticket, on Republican.
Where does District 5 cover? What area?
Oh, District 5 covers all the way down to the Coosa County line, all the way back up through Sylacauga, of course, all the way over into Sycamore, and also a little bit of Alpine. I had somebody the other day says, "I wish I could vote for you, but I can't vote for commissioners. I live in the city." If you live in the city of Sylacauga, you can vote for me.
Yeah.
if you vote, the easiest way to say it is if you vote at the Parks and Rec, or if you vote down at Sycamore to Senior/Water Authority. If you vote in either one of those places, you can vote for me or either one of these other guys.
You met a lot of people during this campaign. What are some things they're wanting to talk about?
Well, they several things. You know, when you talk about a commissioner, you know, the most thing people kind of think of is fixing their roads that the city don't fix.
That's important.
And it's important. Also, right-of-ways and cleanup and stuff like that. That's important. You know, animal control, that's important, especially with, you know, animal control is I guess it's a duty of county commission because it is a health factor, and that's one of the duties being a county commissioner is taking care of those kind of things. So you hear a lot of that. You also hear. You know, we need to get a little more in our end of the county, a little more better paying jobs, that kind of stuff. You know, people talk about, raising taxes. Well, the best thing you can do is create better jobs, and then more money spent, and then you got revenue to do things you like to do. But you got to create an environment for better jobs, industrial type jobs that pay better. You got to have an environment for that. And a lot of people says, hey, we've been represented pretty well in this end of the county. But we feel like we need to notch it up with a few more notches. They will expect a little more done. You know, our end pays well its fair of taxes back into the county coffers. Just get an equal part of that back here. You know, I'd like to see that done, and the people that I represent would like to see that done too.
Greg Atkinson, the incumbent, not running for re-election. Greg is my representative of District 5, and I've called him several times over the years about issues on our street, and he's always responded. And you know, if you've got a representative that you can call and talk to and say, hey, I got this issue, and 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks later, the issue's resolved, you know, that makes you feel good.
It does. It makes you feel good about voting for him, you know? You know, I guess you don't know. You know, of course, Greg has endorsed me.
Right.
He has been a strong supporter, and he thinks I'll do a good job, and I know I will. So, and I think he does too. But yeah, you got to stay in touch. Back when I was a city councilman, I learned this, and I learned it as I've gotten older. Go out in your district, your neighborhoods, even after you're elected, and ask them, you know.
That's a pretty good idea after you're elected to stay involved, you know.
What's going on? But yeah, stay involved, stay in tune, and drive and look. Don't let people have to call. You go out and find it for yourself and get it done, get it fixed, take care of it. You know, your right-of-ways and garbage on them, there's no sense in that. You know, we got people, we can get that up. That's not a hard thing. Yeah, there's some things it will be, but that won't be or shouldn't be.
What's a couple of things that if you are elected and you're become a county commissioner in District 5, what is a couple of things that you'd like to see right off the bat happen?
Right off the bat, I'd like to go back and revisit our right-of-ways and stuff like that, and look at some streets that need some work. That's sort of the top thing. You know, being a county commissioner, you know, and being a city councilman, to give you an idea, your legislative responsibilities are probably a little less hindered more than even being a city councilman because of home rule or the lack of home rule. So a lot of things have to be put in local government legislature, which would be some of your representatives. Things that you want to do. That's the way Alabama code law is set up. I would like to see that change. There's a reason for it. Alabama is one of the few states that, there's several, not just Alabama, but most of your power is kind of depends on how well you can get along with others in Montgomery. So those kind of things you have to work on, and you have to keep the doors open and a good, friendly environment with those people to get things done, because the legislators, when they go in session, you understand that, they're dealing with local, county, down to annexation and everything else, and then they're dealing also with state things. So they get a lot on their plate. So you have to stay with them and stay in touch with them to get the things you want to do for your county and your people in your county. So, and that's Alabama. It's Alabama law.
Phillip Morris, candidate for Revenue Commission, Talladega County at District 5 in the Republican primary coming up on March 3rd. And certainly we want to encourage the voters to cast that ballot on Tuesday.
It's very important. You know, that on your, on this election here, the primary, and it'd probably be a runoff. With some candidates. Could be one in my seat, and there may be a few more. They sum that March the 3rd is going to decide.
Yeah, it's going to be it.
Who's going to be serving. And if you got just two names on there, March 3rd is going to decide one of them. That's pulling Republican ballot. A lot of these positions are not going to be on a Democrat ballot. Mm-hmm. If you're concerned about your local representatives, and it's important to you that which one serves in your behalf, then you would want to pull a Republican ballot, and then you'll have those people to vote for. They will be, one of those people in each one of those columns will be back in the general, but they will not be a Democrat beside that name. So they will win this thing March the 3rd or the 31st, depending on we have a runoff. If you're a Democrat voter, if you're concerned about it, you can vote Republican, and you can turn right around in November, and you can vote Democratic. So you're not bound to vote one and not vote the other later. It's just something that people ask, and I'd like to just let them know that you don't have to declare to be a Republican to get to vote for some of these local people. It is important that you vote for these local people. The biggest thing is with me, and I would hope anybody running, that you serve for everybody, depending on, it don't matter if they're independent, Republican, or Democrat. I will serve for everybody, because that's your duty. You're elected by all the people.
All right.
All of them might not vote for you, but if you get elected, you still work for them.
Absolutely.
And this is an audition. It's just, I say an audition. I guess it's a, I guess you're out seeing people and you're talking to them, and you ask them to vote for you. You ask them to let you go to work for them. So if I'm elected, then I'll be working for you and all these folks out here that's viewing us today. They'll all be my boss. A lot of bosses. Being in business for yourself, you're used to it. Every customer I have, even Dale's a boss. So, yeah. So it's good. Everybody working for us. I got a bunch of bosses, I guess, what I'm trying to say.
District 5 Revenue Commission candidate, Talladega County Republican Party, and voting on Tuesday is Phillip Morris. And Phillip, 60 seconds right here in this camera. Why should they vote for you Tuesday?
Vote for me Tuesday because I have leadership skills. I plan to work hard for you, and it's you can count on having a good commissioner that you can be proud of and call on any time. And for experience you can trust, vote me, Phillip Morris. Thank you.
More Daybreak coming up right after this.